And as I told the class, I'm sure, when they asked me to be class advisor, I said, I'm new here. I've never been a staff aviator anywhere. I've been an operational flyer. And so I didn't know what that was going to be. But I said I knew the summer program well, because I had done it twice. I did it once with Jenkins, and I did it once for my being the CO myself that summer. I had a good handle on my summer duties, and being the guy that tried to increase the desire to be Coast Guard aviators in cadets. Example setting, summer program example setting at the academy. That was my deal. Instead of their having a problem and come to me, I was more likely to tell them stuff I thought they ought to know, because I was with them every time they had a meeting. And they had a meeting for a reason. I mean, why are we doing this, or we need to get a committee to do this. First year, it's kind of like a boot camp, and first half a year until around Christmas break. And then after that, they get what they call carry on, and I don't think they do the square corners, but they still swaps. They still don't talk at the table unless spoken to, and a few things like that. I don't remember many of the details about that. And then I had two versions of it. My version when I was a cadet, and his version when these guys were cadets. I kind of figured that they were all my responsibility, not only for problems, but also for training, help develop to be better people, make their life easier. And that's a little bit vain, because you think that your way of life is the way all the other people should be. That you don't know that. You just know that if what's worked for you and Carol might work for them. But they were, I felt like a flock of my responsibility to take care of them. In fact, I would say that a class advisor that doesn't have that philosophy about it, he's probably not as close to the class as we've been all these years. Just probably not, because he didn't feel that responsible. He just was there to answer questions if they had any. You know, that's different than being guided. I felt somewhat responsible for guiding them if they were going astray. They were mine and Carol's. How often have I said they belong to us? And Carol felt the same way. She felt like, just like the wife of a preacher feels like the congregation is hers too. They do. The ones that didn't like the academy just left. You see, if they didn't like the military aspects of the academy, or well, in some cases, academically, they were asked to leave because they didn't pass the courses. But
yeah, by the time graduation rolled around, these were Coast Guard people now.
They were really people to be proud of. They just ran the cadet corps. They ran the whole cadet corps, and they ran it as sharp a cadet corps as we've ever had, as far as I'm concerned. And that was my guys. Carol and I would say that we would try to put on our best example when we were around the cadets, because that was what we figured our biggest impact was example setting. And that's why Mom, she said, we should be chaperones. And she accepted that a lot, just because she felt we should be there showing them what they should do. And then they would, every once in a while, they'd come up and just talk to Carol and me. They'd want their date to meet their class advisor and wife. That's right. It was almost a formal event, either a class dinner with a class and a dance, or the other was the sports events. We went to the sports events, so we were in with the crowd. We were in with cadets that weren't on the team. We were in with we would see some of the class at the sports events too. We saw them there. I don't know.
Okay.
We didn't sit with them.
You didn't sit with them. What was the dress code for the 65ers when they came to dinner?
They came in uniform. And they were surprised when I let them take the coat off. Or,
But you wouldn't let them loosen their tie.
I wouldn't let them loosen their tie, I don't think. They were in a military environment. But they had your delightful mother to be the charming, making everything better.
Yeah.
You know, there's no question. Your mother made everything better for everybody. I mean, the dates, the ladies, they loved coming to dinner and see Mom handle 5 kids, 3 or 4, 5 cadets and inmates, and me, and put on the meal. It's like that. You know, that's what Mom did. And then, of course, she made everybody feel like, hey, are you get enough to eat? Did you whatever?
Mm-hmm.
You know, made them feel comfortable. And the only problem was we didn't get to have very many people like that. We just didn't, you know, we just